Alrighty guys, we're back for Artifact Red Deck Wins, and this is an Edge of Eternities Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. We got all four Warmaker Gunship. Here on the top end, it's a 3-mana artifact spacecraft with Station, so you can tap another creature you control, put charge counters on the spacecraft equal to its power, Station only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 6+. It'll have flying, and it's a 4/3. Now, when this spacecraft enters, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control to target creature and opponent controls. Nice, that should be a chunk of damage, hopefully. Also, here on the top end, we have a couple Tezzeret Cruel Captains. Actually, not going to take the time to go over this right now, because we have a lot of other new cards to go over. Do have a little bit of ramp packed in with Zookeeper Mechan. It's a 2-mana 1/3. You can tap it for a red. It's important that it's an artifact creature as well. Now for 6 and a red, target creature you control gets +4/+0 until end of turn, activate only as a sorcery. That's not going to happen very often, but hey, it's on the card, so you never know. Terrapact Intimidator is a 2-mana 2/1. When this creature enters, target opponent may have you create 2 lander tokens, which happen to be artifacts, or if they don't, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. So if they don't create lander tokens, this is a 4/3. Yeah, I like it. Honestly, in this deck list, it's probably better to get the lander tokens, but it really depends on the scenario as well. Like you could pop the lander tokens to a Torch the Tower, for example. All 4 Torch the Towers making the cut. I thought about some other burn. I do think that Torch the Tower is going to be best right now versus what I'm seeing the most of, but we'll see, won't we? Maybe we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts. Do have a 1 of Lavaspur Boots in here. Ought to do the thing nicely. A lot of our creatures don't actually have haste, and we can always grab this 1 out of the deck list with the -3 on the Tezzeret. We have 4 Rust Harvesters. It's a 1 red mana 1/1 with Menace. You can pay 2, tap it, exile an artifact card from your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, then it deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's pretty neat. We don't have other ways to actually boost the Harvester's power, but I like that it boosts itself with those extra counters. And also, as the opponents are popping all of our other artifacts too, at least the Harvester can go ahead and clean those up out of the grave and actually do some damage. And any target is kind of no joke, right? Acting as even more removal potentially. We have 4 of the Harriers here. It's a 1 red mana 2/1. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token that's tapped and attacking, and you sacrifice that token at the end of combat as well. Then we have 4 Goblin Tomb Raiders, which is a 1 red mana 1/2 that we don't see very often. As long as you control an artifact, this creature gets +1/+0 and has haste. So hopefully in this deck list, it's just a 1 mana 2/2 with haste, which is kind of no joke. We also have all 4 Clockwork Percussionists as well. Another one that I guess we don't see too often. 1 red mana 1/1 with haste, and when it dies, you exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your next turn. There's not too many ways to actually see extra things off the top in here, so honestly, that should come in handy, and not a terrible one to sacrifice to the bargain either. Now, over in the mana base, 21 total mana ought to be enough, especially since we have ramp with the Zookeeper Mechan, and we are trying out the new Starforge too. Another one that we don't see very often, all 4 burner rockets too, guys. This is a 2 mana 3/1 vehicle, crew for 1. It does have flash, and when it enters, target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. So there you go. That's a way to boost the Harvester that I kind of forgot about, honestly. So yeah, you could boost the Harvester with the rocket, still use that ability too. I guess if you didn't plan on swinging with Harvester, the Menace should be actually really good on Harvester paired with the Burner Rocket. So at that point, you probably wouldn't even want to use the ability, but it really depends. No honorable mentions today, guys. We could have put this deck list together so many different ways. Whenever I have a clean sideboard over here, and that means I dropped all the honorable mentions, that probably means I had way too many honorable mentions. So at the very least, let me know in the comments what should have made the cut as an honorable mention. Alright guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. Alright, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Unfortunately, guys, I'm expecting jank. Just based on what I've been seeing in the meta, I've been getting picked apart, man. So there's a possibility that we go fast enough, but I'm expecting jank overall. I'm still expecting fun, though. Otherwise, I wouldn't be showcasing it for the channel, right? So hopefully we still have some fun today. And opponent goes first here. We keep this. This would have been a great hand to go first, actually. Percussionist with the swing into Tomb Raider and setting up the Harrier on the next turn's crazy business. Yeah, actually, we can stick to that play because there's no way they trade into Percussionist, right? A good trade for us. Oh, well, Raise the Past doesn't mind things in the grave, though, either. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is one where we're desperately going to need to see our torch the towers. And 4 of them packed in for a very good reason. Yeah, still establishing all of our 1-drops on 1 turn is still going to be pretty good here instead of like Intimidator. Voice of Victory. Yeah, Torch the Tower off the top doesn't necessarily mean I want to pop the Percussionist though, but Voice of Victory blocks the 2/2 Tomb Raider very well. Could still get a little bit through here though. Zookeeper Mechan's pretty good too. We set up with the Mechan, we might have the Gunship to pop the Voice next turn. Even if Mechan doesn't survive, no, Mechan has to survive for Gunship next turn. Maybe Intimidator then? No, I like the ramp here. That was a good draw, guys. I like that. It's not as aggressive as I wanted this hand to be, but the Voice just blocks a little bit too well right now. Yeah, we'll see if they find their removal. They send a Verge. They say we have more than enough mana. Voice of Victory number 2. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Yep, some Orzhov sacrifice over there. Some of them we see Raise the Past in. Others we don't. All right. See their Surveils here. With Gorehound, it's likely the Raise the Past version, by the way. So, yeah, let's see what their Surveils look like. Now, with the tapped land this turn, I suppose Sephiroth could always come down next turn. Opponent is stuck on the Surveil, guys. I will go ahead and pause the recording until they show up. Okay, they kept 2 on top. It's too bad we don't have a good double block into the Voice. Maybe if I would have played that a little better, maybe I could have had a good double block into the Voice, right? Yeah, the second Voice is the problem because the plan was to pick up the first one with the Gunship, but now they got 2 anyways. So that's definitely a problem. Now, Harrier will still come down. They're tapped out. I guess we can get Harrier down first. Then we'll get the Gunship down. 4 damage to the Voice. It's good practice to do it in order, right? We let them have a good swing, even though we do have a double block on the board into the Voice. That way we get 1 step closer to the Gunship. Nah. Actually, they probably would prefer Voice in the Grave. If it is going to be Raise the Past, and they're 1 away and they sent a Verge earlier, so they probably already have the 4th. Alright, I think we're in danger either way, so we might as well get this Gunship 1 step closer to flying in the air. And being a 4/3/2 is really good. Still worthwhile picking up the Voice. So there's the untapped. They got Sir Vondum. That's pretty good. Send Plains, another Snarling Gorehound, and they still got 1 card remaining in hand. They send another Sir Vondum. It's going to be Infestation Sage. So no Raise the Past in the opponent's hand. They dump their hand on the board. They have an excellent swing here with Voice of Victory. And then Sir Vondum is going to be a problem, because it'll already be a 4/4, so even if we find another Gunship to take care of the Vondum, they're still going to get the bottom ability. Another Mechan is not bad, I would say. Not power up the Gunship, but we need to keep some blockers. This also has Menace too. Oh, this is hard, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. Let's start with the Terrapact Intimidator. It's probably going to be the second Mechan, but we'll see. Yeah, they don't know what's in hand. If they give us... Okay, so we can tap the Intimidator to power up the Gunship. We're at 13, so... The Voice of Victory combo with the Vondum. They even have encampment for next turn, too. We're in danger, guys. Vondum's a really big problem. A really, really big problem. Alright, instead of the other Zookeeper Mechan, we're actually just going to dump the hand. Blocking really wide. Double block into Vondum, then they take out the Gunship. It's worth it, right? It's worth powering this up this turn. Do we go for the swing then, or do we actually hold everything back? Let the Vondum do the thing? Yeah, I think we hold it all. And hope that they miss off the top. Like, they desperately need to miss for us to have a chance, right? If they find removal. Or a Sephiroth off the top. Vondum goes up to 5 here. We go down to 12. They get a flyer, they get extra surveil, they get card draw. Hopefully they missed on this card draw. Sephiroth was one of the worst case scenarios for us, right? For sure, for sure. Yep, double block. Double block, Sir Vondum picks up the Intimidator. But at least it's off the board. Sephiroth, we lose 1, 2... Well, actually, I think we're gonna die, guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Double block into Voice. We lose 1 of those. We lose both of those. We lose the Terrapact. And Gorehounds, another 3 gets through, down to 9. I think we die. Yeah, to the Sephiroth, right? I do think they have 9 here. Let's see exactly how this works out. If we chumped, maybe we wouldn't have died. Because they still lose the warrior here at the end too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vondum pops another creature, the Intimidator. That'll be 8. Right? Are we actually going down to 1 here, guys? They do transform the Sephiroth. No, down to 2. Miscalculated big time. No, down to 1 because, okay, the other warrior dies. Yeah. Wow. We're alive. Guys, we can get there. They're only at 33. All right. Yeah. Oh, man. Really tough uphill battle. Hey, all 4 torch the towers for a very good reason, huh? All right, good game, opponent. We'll let them swing on in. They might have quests and whatnot, too. Yeah, the Sephiroth was one of the most brutal top decks possible, and honestly, I don't know how many's packed into their deck list, but I feel like people are running all 4 Sephiroth, right? Like, they don't even care that it's legendary. I feel like they're running all 4. You guys let me know if you're playing Orzhov. You got all 4 Sephiroth in there? It's usually, we see it pretty much every game. So it's probably all 4. And honestly, since we do see it so often, we shouldn't be too surprised that they ended up top decking it there either. All right, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Yeah, I think that first game showcased something. I don't know exactly what it showcased, but it definitely showcased something. So we go first, and our last hand would have been much better here, but this is still keepable. I think it would be pretty weird to actually send this. Although Harrier is our only creature, which could be a problem. If it's Azor's control, guys, I'm just going to go for the Harrier's ability and keep everything else back. Burner Rocket would have done the same amount of damage, but Burner Rocket might have a better trick up its sleeve later on. Dragonstorm, cool. Probably up against some, why can't I think of what it's called? Oh, Jeskai Dragons, right? Oh, maybe not. More mana's pretty bad. We only got 20 mana in here. No, 21. 21 mana. Maybe we want only 20. All right. Swing for 4. Keep the Torch the Tower open. Again, there still might be a better trick up the Burner Rocket sleeve. Yeah, this would have been like last hand, right? We had such a more aggressive hand. So I could have mulliganed. I could have. I still feel like it would have been pretty weird. Charming Prince. Nice. Probably gain 3 life here. Back up to 15 would be really good for them. Although, I guess they could... Yeah, they're going to gain the 3. We're going to pop this while we can. Back up to 15. Another Harrier is really good, but we're getting close to board wipe range, so we want to save that back for sure. Harrier's ability's no joke, man. Yeah, with Burner Rocket on the board, we don't need haste on the Harrier from hand. If they have removal, we could go Harrier from hand, power up the Burner Rocket. Except Starcage picks up Rocket too. Okay, it's a Jill. A little bit of a different version of control from the opponent, which is pretty cool. Torch the Tower does pick up. We gotta be very careful here, guys. Yeah, pop the Jill. Harrier that they know about. Burner Rocket. We have to. We literally have to play around a board wipe, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, we have to keep both creatures in hand. We're hoping that the Burner Rocket gets to stick around on the board. Kona! Hi! What do they got? Omniscience! Get the good game ready, I guess, guys. Wow. I mean, that was a turn. Consult the star charts for free. They don't actually have the kicker cost here, because that's still an additional cost, even if it's free, right? Dragonstorm. I guess they could miss. They could. If they miss some of the card draw, there's a chance. Wow, they actually discard a Quantum Riddler there instead of playing that for free. Okay, okay, this is really cool. Free Jill bounces the Harrier. Roxanne pops the Harrier. They don't gotta bounce it. No, they're just gonna go face here with the Meteorites. Holy cow. So the Starfield Vocalist says, if a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So Roxanne comes in with double Meteorite, and each Meteorite hits for 2. They bounce everything back to hand here, including the Roxanne. Then they can go ahead play Roxanne again. Wow, that's something, man. That's something. But again, I think we showcased something here, right? A little bit. Even through these losses, we're showcasing a bit of what the deck list is doing its dandiest to do. What's really nice here, too, is if for some reason, if they do end up missing, which they don't because they have Jill to bounce the Roxanne and win that way. But if they did miss, we could still establish the Burner Rocket on their turn. Still have a decent enough swing, but we still wouldn't have gotten there thanks to the life gain early on that they got off of the Prince too. So, hey, good game opponent. I apologize. I should have conceded so they didn't have to click through so much. But maybe they got some quests. Maybe they appreciated actually being able to play out some of the cards, right? Yeah, let's keep the ball rolling, huh? I'm actually building confidence with the deck list through these losses. It's kind of cool. I think we could probably drop down to 20 land so far just based on how it is, but we do have 6 3-mana cards, which is a lot of 3-mana cards for what Red Deck Wins usually likes to do, right? All right, that's a lot of mana, though. Wow. I'll try it. I'll try it. As long as we don't see mountains for like the next 4 turns, right? Any more mountains or land off the top would actually be pretty bad. Go, Percussionist. Go, go, go. Yes, it's a tapped land. Whoa. Goblin Tomb Raider. Hi. Good draw. No more mana. No more mana. Come on. Come on. Keep the good draws coming. Yes, Harrier. All right. See where they spot remove. Oh, Flood Pit's Drowner. Oh. I guess it's worth picking up with the Torch the Tower. Other than that, they trade into the other Goblin. That's pretty bad. I think I still want to get 3 through here. Tap the Goblin down for 1 extra turn with the stun counter. Alright. No turn 3 board wipe, so we still dump our hand. If they had white over there, I'd be terrified of a Pinnacle Star Cage. Deep Cavern Bat, take a look at my mountain, buddy. Haha! And a Spyglass Siren as well. Nice. Another Harrier is really good, actually. They got some good trades here. That's okay. Yep, that's totally fine. Now, they didn't have ramp or anything, so we definitely dropped the Harrier. Guys, I think it's looking pretty good for us, but we still need to... We kind of fizzled out. Like, our hand is gone. 4 mana on the board, mountain off the top. Could actually be likely here. Nice, they missed the counter. They do have a mana, though. Preacher the Schism blocks really well on the ground. It is going to be a mountain. Like I said, it's actually a pretty good chance that we see one, so seeing that is really bad. Doesn't stop us, though. They go back up to 7. We don't have it this turn, but we do it. We go for the full swing every single turn. They got the block, 5 getting through, back up to 2. All right, guys. I'll keep mountain in hand, I guess. Yep, I guess the opponent could pull this back. I'm actually thinking mid-video revamp, drop a mountain, go up a burst lightning. Like, what's that gonna harm, you know? Probably nothing. Probably just be good. Terrapact Intimidator. By letting us keep all this, they're expecting us not to be able to do 3 damage this turn since they have lifelink on the vampire. But with 4 open too, we can anticipate a nice little hasty kitty cat. Or, I'm sorry, not hasty. A flash kitty cat, right? With 4 mana open. Seeing more off the top with Percussionist could be good. See, early on I used that Torch the Tower when we probably had better targets like the Deep Cavern Bat for it too. But they would have traded into a Tomb Raider pretty early on there as well. Alright. Swing with just Percussionist. It's going to be Depressurize. Oh no, guys. Yep. We're going to have trouble getting this last little bit of damage through as they go back up to 3 here as well. Get to see more off the top. If they don't have more removal, they're kind of forced into the block there. See what we see. We do find another Percussionist, which is pretty good. At this point in the game, they know we have Percussionist. Let's go Intimidator. I'm pretty sure they go Lander tokens, but that's actually good for us because we'll be able to thin the deck list. Yeah, being able to thin the deck list should be really good here. Oh, you know what else would be good? Okay, that means more spot removal from the opponent. So it is until the end of your next turn, and it does have haste, but I think we get it down even if we are anticipating something. Oh! What have I done, guys? I didn't play a round of Phantom Interference. Crap. Okay. I hope that doesn't mean we're gonna lose because of that. But you know what else would be pretty good in here? Maybe the Opera Love Song. Oh, another Clockwork Percussionist is decent, but guys, I really needed to play around a Phantom Interference. So this, if we lose, it could just be my fault. It might not be, though, if we continue to see a lot of mana like this, too. Yeah, maybe Opera Love Song instead of the Burst Lightning, but Burst Lightning could still be good here, too. Yeah, Preacher of the Schism's slowly but surely pulling them back into this, too. It's actually going to be more mana off the top, so a very small flood here, too. For what the deck list is trying to do, right? For sure. 7 mana in the top. I guess 16 cards, however. Still kind of feels like a flood when we only got 21. I think mid-video revamp is called for here. How do you guys feel about that Opera Love Song over a Burst Lightning, though? I think so. And if you're dropping mana too, the Opera Love Song could help you find more mana if you are in desperate need for it as well. And again, we're kind of showcasing something with the deck list, right? Oh, wow, Torch the Tower. Huh. Right. So I guess we play the mountain. Yeah, the extra Percussionist really wouldn't have done too much that turn when they had the Phantom Interference. It wouldn't have done too much. They go for the full swing. We can pop only one thing here, and that would be one of the lifelink things probably, right? Good game, opponent. Good game. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling mid-video revamp. We don't do this very often, but it just, you know, I have a feeling that we don't want this much mana. And honestly, keeping the mountains in here and maybe even just dropping the utility land could work fine too. Where am I? Oh, Artifact red deck wins. Mountain. Opera love song. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. All right. Mid-video revamp successful. Onwards. Yeah, nothing else to really say there because I want to save a lot of it for the final thoughts too. Yeah, based on how we're doing, we're really fast. But at what cost? You know what I mean? Like, you get there, you get to the end, and then you just can't push the rest through. Especially since we're not opting for Burst Lightnings, we are opting for the Torch the Towers too. So maybe we do drop a couple Torch the Towers and go up a couple Burst Lightning. That way we have more ways to actually just hit the opponent's face as well. All right, we'll give this a shot. It's not like the greatest hand, but it's definitely not the worst. Yeah, with only one creature, but Tezzeret can grab any of our artifact creatures. And also boost our artifact creatures once they're out there too, so they keep it on top. Rust Harvester was a great draw. Let's get that down. All right. Keep it on top, sure. They like what they see. Rust Harvester biting the dust here. Another mountain. Alright, we can totally swing for 2 this turn with the Lavaspur Boots. Powering up the Tomb Raider. And then Cruel Captain next turn. It's probably going to go -3 so we don't end up fizzling. Yeah, that was one of the big things in those earlier games. We just fizzled out. Our whole hand was on the board immediately, right? Tezzeret's -3 is just not enough to keep things on the board. Speaking of which, second Tezzeret's really good here. Holy cow. Excellent news. Percussionist is good. I guess Percussionist is a way to see more off the top, but that means that one of your creatures actually has to die as well. What's in the grave already? Yeah, there is a Rust Harvester in the grave. I guess the Harrier has been really good, but I'm going to grab another Harvester because I want to see that do a little bit more today as well. There's a couple pieces of spot removal so far from the opponent. Yeah, their Wizard being a 0/1 is great news, because maybe Tezzeret actually gets to stick around for a turn. Now, Rust Harvester doesn't have haste, but we can give it haste with the Lavaspur Boots. And then we still have enough mana to activate its ability as well, and we might as well untap it with the Tezzeret, then get a swing. Although they have a good chump blocker here with the Wizard too, so that's pretty cool synergies, isn't it? Tezzeret might get popped anyways, with some burn. Burst Lightning the Tezzeret. They poke 1 to face with the Wizard. It's going to be Lightning Strike. They are terrified of that Tezzeret to use a Lightning Strike on it. Yeah, instead of face. Artist Talent coming down too. Go down to 18. You can start powering up that Artist Talent next turn. Terrapact Intimidator. Really good. Okay. Right, even though Tezzeret's not on the board now, I am going to stick to that plan with the Rust Harvester. And actually, if we swing, we get the damage through without using its ability, but then we won't get the extra counter. The Ward 1 probably doesn't matter since they're definitely going burn, spot removal, even getting around the ward with another cornered. right? So it's probably better to save everything back and just activate its ability. I suppose we could pop the wizard over the damage. What are the odds of the harvester dying? That's the problem, right? That's the real problem I'm having here. I guess hitting face. Also, guys, something I kind of overlooked in this first matches too was if we had Rust Harvester would have been a great way to squeeze that damage by a wide board state of the opponent's creatures, right? We just didn't have the Harvester. Yeah, it is going to be a second cornered by Black Mages, unfortunately, guys. So Rust Harvester out of the equation. We still have a pretty good hand, and the second Tezzeret can still grab another Harvester if that's what we want to grab. Let's see what they send to the grave here. Yeah, another Rust Harvester could be pretty good. However, the Harrier, when we have 4 mana on the board especially, swing in, pay the extra 2, even, yeah, give it haste, pay the extra 2, but we have to have a full turn of setup. Another Intimidator pretty much tells me what well, yeah, never mind. I'm still going to go Tezzeret, since they don't have a good swing into this. And this time, instead of, yeah, the Harvester, yeah, the Harrier will do more here, I think, overall. But next turn's probably 2 Intimidators anyways. Oh, crap. Okay. All right, I'll get the Harvester. Yeah, because I really want to see the Rust Harvester do a thing today, too. We did get 3 through to their face, but maybe like Harvester wrap up the game type of thing, you know? Now, they're going to have a tough decision with the Intimidators. They have a great turn to get to level 2 on the... Wait. Did they already get to level 2 on the Artist Talent? Oh, guys, we're going to die. We're going to die, bro. Level 3 on the Artist Talent with double wizards on the board. I'm scared, man. Yeah. It's going to be Black Mage's Rod. We take 6 damage here. Down to 11. They still got 1 mana open. Guys. Yeah, Lightning Strike to our face would be 11 damage. And they have a Lightning Strike open. Oh, they could have a Lightning Strike open since the Artist Talent's also making everything cost 1 less, right? Or they could discard what they have and try to find the lethal damage too. Oh, it doesn't matter. The Black Mage's Rod also... Okay, so we take 9 damage here. Down to 2. Wow, guys. Wow. I guess maybe if I would have targeted that wizard earlier... So this could have been my fault for sure. They would have had 1 less wizard. We would have taken 6 less damage this turn. We would have been at 8 still. That's very important. Very noteworthy. They go ahead, sacrifice a land. Makes a lot of sense. Well, they kind of have to. Their hand was empty, wasn't it? Yeah. Their hand was empty. Okay, timeout used. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get there. Not with a level 3 artist. Oh! Good game, opponent. They found mana and a burn spell. So even at that point, even if we popped that wizard earlier, holy cow. I mean, they really popped off all in 1 turn. Wow. Guys, this poor deck list, huh? So far, very, very janky. But honestly, everything I've been putting together this week especially has been pretty janky. I've been really struggling against whatever we're seeing. That's potentially just my fault. You guys let me know in the comments. You got any tips versus the current meta? What's happening? What's going on? Okay, only 1 mountain in hand. This is not playable. And the opponent goes first, right? So we should mulligan. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This one's a little bit more playable because we have a Percussionist at least. As if we get a good chump, then we can see more off the top, find the mountain a little easier. Warmaker Gunship would have been pretty good. in that last game. I'm going to keep it. We're going to keep the ramp on the Mechan, and we're probably going to send the burner rocket. Yeah, keep all the 1 mana things. We really don't want to go down to 5 in a deck list that's already struggling to keep cards in hand too. So yeah, I think if we drop a Torch the Tower and go up a Burst Lightning, I don't think it'll matter too much. Like that 1 Burst Lightning will every once in a while be able to hit the opponent's face, but we also have other ways in here to hit the opponent's face too. So Golgari colors from the opponent. We're going to go ahead and get that Percussionist down and hope for mana off the top. With a mid-video revamp dropping a mana and only seeing 1 after the mulligan too. Scary. Forest cycling. Rule colors. No mana. Goblin Tomb Raider, right? Over the Harrier. Get some excess damage through. This is probably going to be like the Jund Dino build that we see every now and then. Zombify. Waiting for their 4th turn type of thing. Commercial District, see what they surveil. They keep it on top. They do have Scorching Dragonfire for the Tomb Raider. We don't find the mana, guys. I guess we'll establish the Harrier. Now with the Exile, the Percussionist would have been a pretty good target too, but I guess they were more afraid of the Tomb Raider. It would have just been a 1-2 if they exiled the Percussionist. We find the mana, guys. We're ready. The opponent's ready. Dude, we're in danger, huh? Holy cow. Right. So there's no way that Ghalta misses next turn, right? It's probably Zombify right on time. So Mechan's a little bit of a better blocker if we're forced into a block. We could swing for 5 on the Harrier. We had more mana. All right, yeah. I guess we swing for 3 and get the Mechan down, because that's our 3rd mana. I don't think the Warship has a good chance of hitting whatever they end up reanimating here, but so 5th mana, it could be a Rakdos Joins Up over a Zombify. It is going to be a Rakdos Joins Up. See that Ghalta. Let's see what the Ghalta ends up hitting here too. So 14-14. We're at 20, so okay, Gishhath is actually the hit. Right, so I'll just take the 7 because the trample gets through either way, so the combat damage is going to get through. Let's see what they end up hitting with the Gishhath. Nothing. That was weird. Did they miss? Reveal that many cards? 7 cards? What was that about? That was super weird, right? Yeah. Huh. Well, Rust Harvester was actually pretty good. If we had more mana, the Gunship could come down and actually pop the Dracosaur, but then the trample damage is still going to get through one way or the other. So, Rust Harvester. And I suppose Intimidator is not bad here too. It doesn't really matter because we die to the 21 trample damage coming through. So they give us Landers. So that way we don't have any better blocks. And they also got 5 in the air as well that we can't block either. So yeah, if I mulligan down to 5, I think we would have been in danger either way because they were still going to have that turn 5 Rakdos Joins Up with some early removal here too. So I guess we could have started with a Percussionist swing. Maybe we would have found something off the top. Let's see what's on top here. We'll let them get that block. Yeah, I'm curious. We actually don't find anything anyways. Tomb Raider is pretty good, though. They see 2 land off of the Dracosaur. Yeah, 5 in the air, then all the trample on the ground. You can full block the Stampede, I suppose. I suppose. Good game, opponent. Guys, almost 40 minutes in. Getting destroyed here. Is there any other mid-video revamps we could consider for this poor Artifact red deck wins? I don't know. Super explosive things from a lot of the opponents too. and the last few videos as well. Just really been struggling. I say we go into one more. I think we can easily end on a high note. I do think we have what it takes to be aggressive enough here. Look at this, man. And we go first. I like this a lot. The opponent drops a mulligan down to 6. Okay, Rust Harvester. Go, 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 go. It's all Verge. Yeah. Ew. All right. Let's hope they miss the Star Cage on turn 3. Gonna be clay-fired bricks. Yep. I guess we could try to play around it a little bit. More mana off the top. If we play around it, guys, I think we die either way. I do. The synthesizer builds are incredibly consistent. All right. All right, dump it all. Dump it all. Miss the Pinnacle Starfield. Please. Please, opponent, miss. Plains comes down. 3 mana open. Ah, split up. That's not as bad. That's not that bad. Oh, mana off the top's really bad. We go from one game where we desperately need mana to another game where we flood really bad. Oh, no. Oh, no, guys. All right, opponent's down to 10. Now, another Rust Harvester would be really good. United Battlefront. Let's go ahead and see what they see here. Oh, they actually missed. Well, I'd say we missed pretty well here too, huh? Another mountain off the top. That could have been anything. Anything would have been really good, right? A Tezzeret would have been excellent. All right. 6 mana in the top 12. Go, 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 Harrier. When it goes down to 5, and they can easily grab the Star Cage off the repurposing bay by popping the clay-fired bricks. So we are in significant danger. And of course, well, good thing that was a tapped land. That could have been an untapped land. It's actually just going to be split up number 2. We find more mana off the top. I think I'm supposed to be surprised, guys, but I don't feel surprised. Rough business, huh? Really rough games today. There's the synthesizer. Now they can go ahead, grab synthesizer number 2 off the clay-fired bricks, since we don't actually have any threats over here anyways. I'm going to stick to it, though, man. 21 might have been a mistake, but going down to 20 mana, I'm pretty sure the deck list still wants 20 mana, not 19 mana. Like, look at that last game, for example. We desperately wanted 3 mana on the board state early on in that game, but we missed mana for a few turns in a row. We desperately wanted more. So pretty much any draw off the top is not going to help us get this last 5 through before they are able to run us over with the constructs, but I'm still going to stick it out regardless. Guys? Guys, if we play our mountain, we can do 5 damage to their face with the mountain's secret ability, right? Right, guys? When you have 8 mountains on the board, mountain has a secret trap. Now any hasty creature that we see will get locked down by Braided Net. We wouldn't have had many hasty creatures anyways because Goblin Tomb Raider. So there's something to be said about earlier if I would have played around that board wipe. I don't think it would have mattered, especially since they ended up having 2 of the split ups anyways. The split up was still better for us than... yeah, split up was still much better for us than a Pinnacle Star Cage, though. Also, guys, all 4 of the burner rockets in here for a very good reason. Yeah, for sure. They go ahead and actually pop the Braided Net. Okay. Couple more constructs on the board. Yeah, there's nothing in this deck list that really wants 8 mana. However, we'll have 7 mana for the Zookeeper Mechan's ability. That's pretty good, right? Terrapact Intimidator also with the ability to get landers to actually grab mountains from the deck list too, if it comes down to that. Of course, they don't want to give us landers. They want to go +1 counters because they have 5/9/9 constructs on the board. Oh, buddy. Man, you gotta laugh sometimes. Maybe we will drop a mountain, but I don't know what we really want to go up. I'm pretty sure 20 mana is about right for this deck list, right? Hey, good game, opponent. Good game. Yeah, rough business, huh? 100% loss rate as far as I remember. Kind of doesn't feel like 100% loss rate, surprisingly. There were so many games where we do like that initial burst of damage so fast, but then we just can't close up that last few points of damage. And that's one of those things where maybe if we saw more of the harvesters, maybe we could have. We saw a lot of harvesters in that one game thanks to the Tezzerets. Tough business, huh? First of all, a well worthwhile mid-video revamp to drop a mountain and go up that opera love song. I like that a lot. A few other things that we could consider for this poor Artifact red deck wins is dropping a Torch the Tower down to 3 and going up that Burst Lightning as another way to just push that excess damage through. I'm actually going to do that as well because I was talking about it a lot throughout that. I think it would be well worthwhile. So a couple one-ofs we went up today. We dropped a mountain and dropped a Torch the Tower. We went up an Opera Love Song and a Burst Lightning. I think these one-ofs will be terrific in here and help it a little bit. But that being said, guys, put it on the do not craft list. We got obliterated, bro. And hopefully we still were able to showcase something here. And hopefully you guys still had fun as well. So Burst Lightning is common. And I want to go through this because even if it is super cheap, you still probably want to put it on the do not craft list just because we're going to have to take a good long look at it and see, oh man, but you know, if we played another 5 games, yeah, more testing required. I'm pretty sure it's super duper janky though, just based on what we've been seeing. So commons and uncommons and Rust Harvester's rare and a not worthwhile craft as far as rares go, guys, because we don't know if this is going to end up anywhere. And if it does end up somewhere, it has to be in a very specific deck list. So yeah, not a worthwhile craft. Torch the Tower's common, uncommon, Intimidator's uncommon. Love Song's uncommon, common with the Zookeeper, common with the Burner Rocket, more rares on the Gunship, and a mythic on the Tezzeret, rare with the Starforge, which, by the way, the Starforge comes in untapped, luckily. As far as utility lands go, it's nice when they actually enter untapped, right? You can pay 2, tap it, tap X untapped artifacts you control. Target creature gets +X/+O until end of turn, activate only as a sorcery. That's pretty cool if you wanted to like plug all of your extra things, all of your extra goodies onto like your menacing Rust Harvester or something like that, right? But then also in the late game, when you end up flooding for some reason, 5 and tap, you can create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. I will say this is completely unnecessary. You could just go up the 20th mountain, drop the Starforge. You don't got to worry about it, right? But it is nice to have a little utility, and I personally love utility lands too, so... yeah, the split isn't bad. It's not an expensive deck list by any means, except for these rares. And again, these rares are very specific to specific deck lists, and they're just not worthwhile crafting. We don't know if it's actually going to end up anywhere. I think the next time I visit Harvester and Gunship, it'll probably be like, is it artifacts or something along those lines? So... yeah, hopefully this was still a worthwhile showcase of maybe what not to do against the current meta that we're seeing, right? And I suppose the meta hasn't really settled yet. We're actually seeing a huge swing back and forth between things. A lot of what I have been seeing, though, that has been consistent, Mono Green Landfall, Orzhov Sacrifice, and Azorius Synthesizer. I've definitely been seeing most of those. And I will say this, against Azorius... I think we're actually pretty good. I think we're okay against the Azorius Sacrifice deck lists, right? Yeah, I don't think we're too bad. Why did I do that? I wanted to do some rearranging, but the deck list was already rearranged. I don't know why I did that. Really funny. So second Lavaspur Boots probably isn't worth it. Don't forget you can grab the first one of out of the deck list with the -3 on Tezzeret. Even though it's pretty good once it's out there, there's not a there's not like too many turns where you actually have the excess mana to equip the Lavaspur Boots, unless you flood out like I did today, which I guess Mechan with the ramp also helping us a little bit. 19 mana seems super sketchy, dude. I don't know. There's too many turns where we want to have open mana. You know what I mean? Either 2 open mana for a Harrier, or 2 for that matter. Harrier has been really good for me, by the way, so far. In the deck list that I've played Harrier in, it's good. I like this a lot. Really good, budget-friendly 1-drop. So you want 2 mana open for Rust Harvester ability sometimes as well, right? There's going to be turns where you want to dump your hand, a couple extra Tomb Raiders and such. There's going to be turns where you need to ramp off the Mechan to actually get the gunship on the board to remove something vital. Once the gunship's on the board, it should be really easy to actually power this into a 4/3 flyer, start swinging in with it next turn. One of our actual main win conditions here on the top end, we didn't really get to see it today. Yeah, guys, more testing required, but let me know for sure. How do you like the changes? I think it's completely fine dropping a mountain, going up that love song, dropping a torch the tower, going up the burst lightning, especially since this is like dropping a common for a common. But also, guys, we could consider dropping another mountain down to 19 based on how much mana we actually did see today. Dropping another mana down to 19, keeping that 4th torch the tower, especially if you are seeing a lot of the Azores too. And I'm talking like you're going to put the deck list together. Remember, guys, put it on the do not craft list. That being said, you already have all the cards. Maybe you want to give it a shot and get back to me and let me know if it's as brutal for you out there as it is for me, or maybe the deck list is more than deserving of a couple wins here and there, but I just couldn't pull it off today. And also, maybe I could have played it out a little better too. Definitely give me all that feedback down in the comments for sure. Guys, did I go over all the middle of video nonsense? I don't think I did. For the YouTube side of things, guys, if you actually liked the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoyed the channel, then consider subscribing, because it really does help out the channel. Down in the description, we have that Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. There we go, guys. Lots and lots of words, huh? Yeah, if you made it this far in for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. And I will see you in the next video.